Hi everyone, my name is Hannah. I'm the Youth Services Librarian at Mid-County Regional Library.
And I am Miss Liz, and I am the Youth Services Librarian at the Punta Gorda Charlotte Library. And today we have a fun craft planned for you teens out there. Today we are doing Teen No-Sew Fantastic Beasts pillows.
If you have any questions today about the process, how to do things, please leave them in the comments, or you can give us a call or send us an email and we'll get back to you.
Here we go.
Okay, so we have our scraps of fabric, which are already going to be cut for you when you pick them up at the library. When you picked them up, I guess you already have them. So they're pre-cut. You might need to trim some if there's a little excess on one color or the other. So we're just going to trim these up and make them look the way we want. Some of them might have an edge. On my little cat pillow that I made earlier, I used that edge. I cut it off of the fabric and I used it for the whiskers. So you can keep in mind that anything you cut off you might be able to use, but you don't have to cut that off. If you're okay with it, you can leave it.
All right, and while Hannah is trimming the excess off of hers, the first step, what you're going to do, it doesn't matter what color you have on the top or the bottom. What you're going to do first is you're going to cut a square out of each corner. So for example, I'm going to rotate it here and just cut a decent sized square. So that's about 2 inches. So it looks like that. And you're going to do the same to all 4 corners. So go ahead and cut a square, and you can always make it a little bit bigger if it's lopsided later. And then what's really cool, the squares that you're cutting out, you can use them for decoration and all sorts of fun things that you can make your pillow.
So when we thought we were going to do this craft in person with you guys, we were intending to provide maybe vinyl to make the Fantastic Beast faces on our pillow. But we didn't see how we could do that now with us sort of trying to do this long distance. So it's going to be up to you to be creative with your scraps to make an animal face, if you wish, on your pillow.
And we found out that hot glue will work well for the decorations, but also tacky glue will work, or if you have fabric glue, if you have fabric paint, that would be fun to do different designs and faces on your pillows as well.
Okay.
So,
just getting my squares cut.
Once you have your squares cut, the next step is to take your scissors and you'll be cutting strips all along all 4 sides, so the 2 ends and the 2 sides. Now, you will want to cut the strips longer than you think. If you look at our examples here, you'll notice my strips on the side are longer, whereas the ones on the ends are a little bit short. So to err on the side of caution, I would cut longer strips, and then it'll be more uniform all the way around.
So if you have a pair of very sharp scissors, that will help you to cut much more quickly. I'm going to be a little slower than Liz while we're cutting, just because her scissors are a little better. So you'll see it can really impact how fast you go. So look around your house for your sharpest pair.
If any of your grown-ups, adults, parental units are crafters, they may have fabric scissors like these. Fiskars and Singer brands work really, really great. If not, be patient and you will get your strips cut soon enough. So again, make them a little bit longer than you think. So let me cut a couple here and see if you can see them. So that's probably a good length. They are about actually 2 inches. So it's usually from the tip of your thumbnail to the first knuckle on your thumb. That's about 1 inch. So 2 of those lengths, and then you have probably the best length for the strips.
Here's mine. I might go back and make a few of mine a little longer. So I don't know if Liz already said, we're going to be tying these together. So this is what makes the pillow no-sew, because we're going to attach the 2 sides with knots instead of sewing. Everyone probably knows that already, but
Awesome. And if you like this idea, you can also make your own blankets using fleece. You do the same thing. You cut 2 giant pieces of fleece, you cut a fringe around the end, and you just knot them together, and that's it. The only difference with this is this is much smaller, and we will be adding stuffing to ours. But there's all sorts of fun things you can do with fleece. And the strips don't have to be all the same size. Try. Mine are a little bit crooked here and there, but the result will still be the same.
if you end up wanting to make your own fleece project, there's, like Liz was saying, so much that you can do. We had talked about creating colors that would match the Hogwarts houses. So you could pick the 2 colors that you like and put them together. If you have a sports team that you like, you could put those colors together. You could, instead of creating a creature, which is what we're doing today, you could do anything.
If you want to use other scissors.
Thank you. I'm gonna use the good scissors on my last side.
And while she's doing that, we will work through the next step, which is the knotting process. So what you're going to do is you're going to knot 3 out of the 4. I would leave one of the ends open. So you're going to knot the 2 sides here and then one end, and that will give us room to stuff with our polyfill, and then you'll tie it up to finish. So what works well is kind of if you're doing a square knot. So you're going to start as if you were tying a shoe. So you have the 2 pieces here. You're going to go over and under and pull it pretty tight so that you have, if it will cooperate with me, the 2 ends here again, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to go over and under, pull through, and that is your first knot. The first one will be a little squirrely, but once you do a couple next to it, then you'll kind of see how it works. And they line up pretty well since we cut the fringe, so we shouldn't have an issue. So over and under, like so, and then again, over and under, tuck and pull through, and that is 2 knots that we have right there. So again, over and under. Sorry, my big hands are in the way, like that. Again, over and under, like so. And so that's 3 in a row that you have there. So again, you're going to do that to 3 of the 4 sides and leave 1 open. So that is what Miss Hannah and I are doing right now. And this is the most time-consuming part of the project as well. So take your time, and you can always pause the video while you are knotting, and then once you are done, you see that we are finished in the video, you can resume and go from there. Have fun. So the colors you're getting will be different, but you'll be getting 2 different colored sheets. And again, it's Fantastic Beasts, so it can be anything you want it to be. I think mine would be like an undersea creature. It could be like an octopus. The pillow you saw in our intro part of this video, a coworker commented that it looked like Cookie Monster. So that's entirely plausible. And then you could decorate, draw a little cookie on the top, and it'd be adorable.
That would be adorable. This could make a great gift for somebody too. You know, if the colors that you happen to get aren't really your favorite, maybe make it and give it to someone.
And fleece is not that expensive as well. The most expensive part was the polyfill, but you don't need a gigantic amount of it to stuff a pillow this size, so that should be fine. And this can decorate your bed, a couch, and again, like Hannah said, it'd be a really cute gift, especially if you have any young kids in your family, cousins, brothers, siblings. And then rounding the corner can be a little tricky too, where we did the square cutout.
So every time you're tying a knot, you should have both colors. One side will be one color and a different color for your other side. I was just about to tie, and I almost tied 2 of the same color together, and then I caught myself. That would not be good. In case you're wondering why we picked Fantastic Beasts for our pillows today, it's because we wanted to tie in with our summer theme this year, which is Imagine Your Story. And we were planning on showing the movie while we did the pillows, which would have been really fun, but maybe if you're into it, you could try to track it down and watch it on your own.
I think some things you can stream it online. Also, we have the DVDs available, I think at all 4 branches. So
believe
then
so.
you'd be able to check them out and watch while you're doing this. I own the movies myself, so I would totally be watching them right now.
How did you feel about that movie when it came out? Did you?
The first one?
Yeah, were you on board?
I was on board just because J.K. Rowling had talked a little bit about the first Wizarding War. It's mentioned in the original Harry Potter books, but I wanted to know more. And then Newt Scamander is such a cute, awkward character.
He is.
And I love all the different animals that he works with, the Niffler and the Bowtruckle.
Yes.
My favorite from, I believe it's the second movie, is the giant Asian cat creature from China that had been smuggled. And it's really, really pretty. And then, of course, I'm a big fan of the Kelpie because it looks like a giant leafy sea dragon.
Yeah, I really love all kinds of animals, and the creatures appealed to me as well because there's so much potential for really magical and cool things to be in that world. And I thought that was a good way to branch out.
It was also cool that he's a magizoologist.
Magizoologist, I think.
So it's post his Hogwarts year, so we get, snippets of his background throughout the 2 movies, but it's him, tracking down the creatures and preventing smugglers from getting them or releasing them from smugglers. So I like that aspect of it. But then you get an introduction to the Harry Potter world, the First War. But we have to wait another year for the next movie, and it makes me,
Yep.
it's annoying. But I'm so excited.
Let's be patient.
And if you like the movies, I believe we also have the books. So they're not books like a typical novel. It's the script of
Right.
the movies.
So they
So
have
think
the,
Shakespeare.
the movie script, but don't they also have like, it almost is like the textbook?
They do,
Right.
and that there's 2 different versions. There's one where it's, not to be redundant, it's a book, but the other one is like an illustrated guide, and that's the larger one, and it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And it has like Newt Scamander's handwriting, and it's really cool to look at. So if you haven't had a chance to check that one out, that's a definite recommendation.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like you wouldn't probably sit there and read the whole thing in one sitting, but it's so nice to browse through and look at all the illustrations and like Liz was calling the book. That was like, to me, it reminded me of the textbook. Like if you were going to school at Hogwarts and taking that class, that's what the book is, kind of like an index of all the creatures.
And some of them are
Beasts.
mentioned or described in the Harry Potter books, but if they're not shown in the movies, you don't really have a clear idea of what they look like. So then it's, of course we see the Thestrals from book 5, but they talk about Nendus, and then you see one briefly in the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. But then there's a more detailed image or Bowtruckles, and there's a couple others that I'm not thinking of right now. The Jabberknoll, it's all pictured there.
Liz, have you listened to any of the books, like in audiobook format?
I have not. Unfortunately, each time that I've gone to check out the audiobooks, they've been checked out by someone else.
I think they're pretty popular, but there's a good reason why, because the narrators are awesome, and it's a totally different experience to listen to your favorite books being read to you by a professional storyteller. I believe, what's the actor's name? Who plays Newt?
Eddie Raymond.
Eddie Raymond? Redmayne?
Redmayne.
Eddie Redmayne.
It's like something similar.
Yeah, he's the narrator for,
The Fantastic Beasts one, right?
yes, for the Fantastic Beasts audiobook. So I definitely recommend that.
In the comments, why don't you guys write which Harry Potter book is your favorite? Mine is book 4, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, because you find out that there's more than one European wizarding school. You have Beauxbaton Academy of Magic, and you have Durmstrang Institute, and then of course, Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. So it's cool to see the different students. And then also there are many more magical creatures and grand adventures that happen in book 4. If you haven't read it yet, you should start with book 1. Do not skip. It's very important to read the Harry Potter books
Yes,
in order.
In order. I know there's probably some of you out there that haven't read them because we've done escape rooms and other Harry Potter themed programs where I've had teens come who have not read the books yet, but I definitely recommend it. I know reading them is a commitment. They're long books, but
They are well worth it.
Yes, it's worth your time. And then you'll know what everyone's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like us. I don't know if I have a favorite, actually, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm not great at picking favorites.
Oh, it's so hard.
I'm
with
really
books.
indecisive, and yeah, I hate to narrow it down, but I do love that particular one. I thought the contest was really fun. I
did a
liked the
thing.
Order of the Phoenix, too.
I did a thing.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I think I tied 2 of the wrong ones together.
This is good because they can see. I think it's probably not impossible to backtrack and maybe try to fix something that happened.
Okay, I just need to do that. All right, very good. So it's here in the corner where I said it can get a little squirrely. So I'm gonna hold this down with my pinky, and then with my other fingers, I will fold these. And if you like the Harry Potter books or you like high fantasy, we have a ton of books that you guys can read that are also of the same genre. For example, Punta Gorda just got the majority of the Keeper of the Lost Cities books. They came in yesterday through delivery. Super excited. I left a hole on the shelf on purpose and they fit beautifully. I read one. I picked it up one day and I read it in 3.5 hours when I was doing errands with my aunt, and it was phenomenal. The books are thick and glorious, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the series.
Are those in the JF section?
They are in juvenile fiction, but they are still fun to read.
Yes, and I did read the first few of those, and it really reminded me of the Harry Potter world. It's not, obviously it's a different story, but if you liked the magical school environment and just,
And it's not a girly book, it's not a guy book, it's perfect for everyone.
And is it Messenger?
It's Shannon Messenger
is the author. So
and
look
there's
them up.
like 9 books in the series. So as you can see here, we have knotted 1, 2, 3 sides of our pillows. One side is open. You can make a little puppet. See? Looks like a duster for the floor. We are now going to stuff them with polyfill, this glorious fluffiness. And all you do now is you take the polyfill and you're just stuffing it into your pillow. Make sure you fill all the corners, like so. And you can make it as fluffy as you want, but you're getting a certain amount of fluff in a bag, and we'll show you an example of the bags that you guys will be getting. So something like that, and I still have some room, so I'm gonna tear off a little bit more and shove it in there. And these are actually super comfortable.
They are. I was telling Liz that I think I might leave mine in the car so that when I get to be a passenger, I'll have
When you're not driving.
Exactly, when I'm not driving, I'll be able to relax.
It's nice when someone else is driving, so then you're like,
It
oh,
is.
look, there's an outside world besides the road.
Yeah. Are you teenagers excited about driving? It's actually overrated. Okay, I think I have enough, but we might as well just use the what's left.
Sounds good. So, and you can flatten it and try and smush the fluff to where you need. And then what I've done is I turn the pillow sideways and I hold the fluff and the pillow down with one arm. And you find where you left off, which is right here for me. And then you just start knotting your pillow all the way across. And then comes the fun part, the decorating. And we gave you some ideas before, and if you're just joining us, we are making Fantastic Beasts pillows, and there's all sorts of fun things that we can do with them. And also this is where, like, that one was shorter, so it's a little squirrely to get that one tied, but haha, I did it.
Oh, see, I went wrong somewhere because now I'm at the very end and I have 3 orange pieces and only 2 yellow to tie.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I don't know where that went wrong, but I'm just going to tie 2 of the orange pieces together with the last yellow and it'll be fine.
Roar with it, roll with it.
I'm gonna roll with it.
That was awful.
There. No one will ever know.
That was
Hopefully.
quick. Whoa.
I think I didn't leave myself a very big hole to do the stuffing part. Liz had her whole side open, which definitely makes it a lot easier to get that stuffing in there. So it's just a personal preference, but I was just busy knotting and I just kept going a little further than I intended.
And I can stop. So.
No, you're fine. You gotta keep going so we can decorate. Okay, so now we're gonna provide you guys with different colors, I think.
Yes, so to help you out, we will go ahead and cut the
Some.
corners
Yeah.
of your felt pieces off, and then we're going to mix all of these beautiful colors, and we have red and an aqua color that you saw in our first part of our video, and any of these fun little scraps, and so then you can use them to decorate your pillow however you'd like. With these, especially with like the blue, you could make a swirling kraken tentacle and do bubbles, and you can do anything you want. Hannah made hers a cat, which is absolutely adorable.
Also simple because I'm not really that advanced when it comes to making animal faces.
Examples you can find online. Again, if this was in person, we were going to do vinyl pieces. You could do a unicorn horn. There's all sorts of fun things. Some people will take pieces of fleece or even felt, and using embroidery thread or floss with a needle, you can, what's the word? When you attach something to the top of the sewing project.
I don't know.
I am drawing a blank, I apologize. But then that's something else you can do. And there is a slight hole, so I'm gonna shove some fluff that way.
So I really like how my pillow turned out. I knew I was either gonna do a lion or a fish. And I think this side really screams lion, really
It
roars
does.
lion. But
Go, go, Gryffindor.
I'm gonna do the fish. So I'm gonna use the orange side, and I think I'm gonna use some of these different color scraps to kind of make scales or fins or something. So we'll see how that goes.
So yes, the second go around, we cut longer strips for our tying purposes, and that made a world of difference. So I did a thing too, because I have 2 green and 3 blue. Oh my gosh. Well, that's fun.
That did not happen to us on our first time around, so
Nope.
apparently we were just having so much fun talking that we weren't going as
Beginners.
carefully as we could have been.
Again,
But-
I said the corners were squirrely, so. I don't know what happened. Oh. Yes, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie these two blue together, and then that should rectify the problem. It did, it closed the hole. So there, where there's a will, there's a way. But I still have a random blue one on the other side. What on earth happened? Beginner's luck. Nope, that tied. Okay. Ta-da! Fish.
Nice.
Oh, that is super cute.
Something like that.
And then there's even,
Yeah, I might use
really, really
green to contrast fins or something. I don't know yet. Because the orange is kind of hard to see.
but also once we cut more of the squares off the aqua for people, then she'll have different colored scales that way too. And with the long strips here, she could even cut this in half and she could make gills
It's true.
or outline a fin, perhaps. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, but this is how you make a fantastic beast pillow. So when you guys are finished, feel free to share your photos in the comments so we can see
Yes.
how they turned out.
We
Pretty
really
please.
want
We'd
to
love
see.
to see them.
So let us know how it went.
And we hope that you enjoyed the do-it-yourself Teen Knows So Fantastic Beast pillow.
Thanks for joining us.
Stay tuned for more fun programs.